November 22nd, 1963. Parkland Memorial Hospital. Dallas, Texas.
JFK and Jackie are in trauma room 1.
Jackie Kennedy is standing over her husband's body. There's brain matter on her pink Chanel suit. Blood in her hair. Blood on her hands.
A nurse approaches. Gently. She's trying to help.
The nurse reaches for Jackie's left hand.
She's trying to remove Jackie's wedding ring.
Because protocol says you remove jewelry from the deceased.
But Jackie snatches her hand back.
And she says, and this is documented by multiple people in the room.
She says, don't, it goes with him.
Then she takes off the ring herself, opens Jack's hand, the hand that's still warm, and she puts the ring on his finger.
She says, you can close the coffin now.
That moment, that gesture, tells you everything you need to know about Jacqueline Kennedy.
The control, the symbolism, the pain underneath the performance.
All of it, right there.
And that's what we're talking about today. G'day, I'm Mike.
And I'm Mark.
And you're listening to the Mike and Mark History Experience.
Today, Jackie Kennedy Onassis, American icon, eternal enigma.
And a woman who lived her entire adult life in a cage made of cameras.
We're going to talk about the inflection points, the moments where she had to choose who she'd become next.
We're going to talk about aging in the most public way imaginable.
About raising children under impossible scrutiny.
And about the price of fame, the real price, the one you pay in pieces of your soul.
All right, let's start at the beginning. But not with a birth, with a story that tells you who she was.
I like this already.
Jackie's 8 years old. It's 1937. She's at a horse show in East Hampton.
Fancy.
Very fancy. And she's riding in a competition. She's got this beautiful horse, perfect form, doing everything right.
And she falls off.
She falls off in front of everyone. All the society people, all her mother's friends.
Humiliating.
Should be. Except Jackie gets up, doesn't cry, doesn't run away.
She gets back on the horse.
Literally. She finishes the competition. And when they give out ribbons, the judges give her a special award.
For what?
For extraordinary composure in the face of difficulty.
At 8 years old?
At 8 years old. That's who she was being trained to be.
The person who doesn't break, who maintains dignity no matter what.
Even when you're bleeding. Even when you're terrified. Even when your world just fell apart.
Which is going to be her entire life.
So, she's born Jacqueline Lee Bouvier, July 28th, 1929. Southampton, New York.
Father, John Blackjack, Bouvier III, stockbroker, alcoholic, serial cheater, devastatingly charming.
Jackie worships him, absolutely adores this man who's completely unreliable.
And we're going to see this pattern again. The brilliant, charming, unfaithful man who she loves despite everything.
Mother, Janet Lee Bouvier. Ambitious, status, obsessed, determined that her daughters will marry well and marry up.
And here's the thing about Janet. She's not old money. She's trying to climb.
Right? The Lees were wealthy, but they were Irish Catholic, not quite acceptable to the very top tier.
So Janet has something to prove. And she's going to prove it through her daughters.
Especially Jackie, who is beautiful and smart and already shows signs of being extraordinary.
But the parents' marriage is a disaster. They divorce in 1940. Jackie's 11.
And it's ugly. Custody battles, accusations, public scandal.
Which in that world, in that era, is social death.
Jackie's caught in the middle. And here's what she learns.
Your private pain will be public. People will talk. People will judge.
And your job, your only job, is to maintain dignity anyway.
Smile for the cameras. Be perfect. Never let them see you crack.
Her mother remarries in 1942. Hugh Auchincloss, even wealthier than the Bouviers.
Estates in Virginia and Rhode Island. The works.
And Janet basically tells Jackie and her younger sister, Lee, this is your life now. This is your world. Act accordingly.
So Jackie goes to Miss Porter's school, then Vassar, then a year at the Sorbonne in Paris.
Which she later calls the happiest year of her life.
Really?
She's away from her mother. She's in Paris. She's anonymous. She can just be a student.
No performance required?
Exactly. But it ends. She comes back, finishes at George Washington University in 1951.
Degree in French literature. And she's brilliant, genuinely intellectually curious, well-read, fluent in French, interested in art and history.
But she's also been trained from birth to weaponize that intelligence.
Not for a career, for marriage.
To be fascinating to powerful men.
And in 1951, she gets a job at the Washington Times-Herald as the inquiring camera girl.
Which sounds frivolous, but is actually genius.
She's walking around DC with a camera, asking prominent people questions for this society column.
And making connections. Learning how Washington works. Getting access.
All while appearing to be just a charming young woman with a cute job.
And at a dinner party in May 1952, she meets Congressman John F. Kennedy.
Who is 12 years older. From an even more prominent family, one of the most eligible bachelors in Washington.
And I cannot stress this enough, a serial cheater who will never be faithful to anyone.
Ever.
She knows this.
Everyone knows this. It's the worst kept secret in Washington.
And she marries him anyway. September 12th, 1953.
Here's what I think is happening. And this is important to understand who she is.
Go.
Jackie's not naive. She's 24 years old. She's smart. She knows exactly what Jack is.
But she's making a calculation.
Multiple calculations. One, her mother has programmed her to believe that marrying someone powerful is the ultimate achievement.
Two, she can see Jack's going places. This is political opportunity.
Three, he reminds her of her father. Charming, brilliant, unreliable.
She's repeating a pattern.
But four, and this is the thing people miss, I think she genuinely loves him. Or at least loves what they could be together.
It's a partnership. She brings grace, culture, image. He brings ambition and power.
And for a while, it works. He becomes a senator. They have Caroline in 1957, John Jr. in 1960.
But the marriage is complicated.
That's polite. The marriage is a mess. He's constantly cheating with staffers, with actresses, with random women at parties.
And she knows. The whole time, she knows.
There are reports of huge fights, of her threatening to leave, of negotiations about what she will and won't tolerate.
She's setting boundaries in a marriage that keeps violating them.
But she stays because the partnership matters more than the pain.
Or because leaving would mean admitting failure.
Or both.
And then JFK decides to run for president.
And this is where Jackie becomes. Jackie...
The 1960 campaign, she's pregnant with John Jr., so she can't do a full schedule.
But when she does appear, she's transformative.
There's this campaign ad she does in Spanish, speaking directly to Hispanic voters.
Nobody's ever done that before. A candidate's wife speaking in another language in a political ad.
And it's not pandering. Her Spanish is actually good. She's fluent from her time studying.
She brings this whole aesthetic, youth, culture, sophistication that makes JFK seem modern.
They win. Barely. But they win.
And on January 20th, 1961, at 31 years old, Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy becomes the youngest First Lady in 80 years.
And she transforms the role immediately.
Within weeks, she's announced a complete restoration of the White House.
Which sounds like interior decorating, but is actually cultural warfare.
Right, because the White House is supposed to represent America, and Jackie's saying America should be sophisticated, artistic, cultured.
Not provincial, not middlebrow.
She creates the White House Historical Association. She finds original furniture and art. She brings in experts.
And she makes it about history, about preserving American heritage.
Which is genius, because she's not just redecorating, she's creating a museum.
And then in February 1962, she gives a televised tour of the White House.
56 million people watch this. 56 million.
A third of the country.
And she's brilliant. She's walking through these rooms, telling stories about presidents, about furniture, about American history.
In this soft, breathy voice that's completely captivating.
People are mesmerized. The reviews are incredible.
She wins an honorary Emmy for it.
And overnight, she becomes this cultural icon, this symbol of American grace and sophistication.
But here's what most people don't know about that broadcast.
Tell me.
She rehearsed it obsessively, went through every room dozens of times, practiced every line.
The whole thing was choreographed down to the second.
And she was terrified, absolutely terrified of messing up on camera.
But she did it anyway and made it look effortless.
That's who she is. The performance is flawless. The fear is hidden.
So she's revolutionizing the First Lady role, bringing art and culture to the White House, hosting concerts, exhibitions, dinners for Nobel Prize winners.
And she's doing international diplomacy. In 1961, she goes to Paris with JFK.
And she speaks French fluently at state dinners with de Gaulle.
The French love her, absolutely worship her.
JFK gives this famous line, "I am the man who accompanied Jacqueline Kennedy to Paris."
Because she's the star.
Then she goes to India and Pakistan in 1962. Solo trip, no president.
And she's brilliant. She's riding elephants, visiting the Taj Mahal, meeting with Nehru.
She's doing soft diplomacy, cultural diplomacy, and it works.
She's making America look sophisticated, modern, cultured.
And she's only 32, 33 years old while all this is happening.
But behind the scenes,
the marriage is still a mess.
JFK is still cheating, constantly, including allegedly with Marilyn Monroe.
And Jackie knows. Everyone in Washington knows.
There's a story, possibly apocryphal, but widely reported that after Marilyn sings Happy Birthday, Mr. President at Madison Square Garden in May 1962.
Jackie wasn't there, by the way.
Jackie wasn't there. And allegedly, she confronts JFK about it.
And he says something like, "It's just a performance, it doesn't mean anything."
And Jackie reportedly says, "Everything is a performance with you."
Which is devastating and true.
But also, she's performing too, every day, as the perfect First Lady.
So they understand each other in a twisted way.
They're both playing roles, both performing their marriage.
And the performance is what matters.
August 1963, Jackie's pregnant again, third trimester.
She's had a difficult pregnancy. She's exhausted. The baby's early.
Patrick Bouvier Kennedy is born August 7th, 1963, 5 weeks premature.
He weighs 4 pounds, 10 ounces. He has respiratory distress syndrome.
He lives 39 hours.
39 hours.
And then he dies. With JFK holding him.
Jackie is devastated, absolutely shattered.
She'd already had a miscarriage in 1955, a stillbirth in 1956.
Now she's lost another child.
And she has to grieve publicly. The whole world watching.
There are cameras outside the hospital, reporters everywhere.
And JFK, for maybe the first time in their marriage, is genuinely there for her.
He's devastated too. And they grieve together.
There are accounts of them sitting together, crying together.
A rare moment of genuine connection.
Not performance, not politics, just shared pain.
And for a few weeks, the marriage seems different, closer.
He cancels trips to be with her. She comes with him to Texas in November.
Which she usually wouldn't do.
She's trying. They're both trying. November 22nd, 1963.
We started the episode here. But let's go through the whole day.
They arrive in Dallas the night before, November 21st. There are already protests, tension.
Dallas is not friendly territory, politically conservative, anti-Kennedy.
But the motorcade on the 22nd starts well. Jackie's in a pink Chanel suit, hair perfect.
She's waving, smiling, playing the role.
They're in the Lincoln Continental, top down, JFK next to her.
Governor Connolly and his wife in the jump seats in front of them.
They turn onto Elm Street, Dealey Plaza.
12:30 p.m.
The first shot.
JFK's hit in the upper back. He raises his hands to his throat.
Jackie turns toward him, confused.
The second shot hits Governor Connolly.
And then the third shot.
The fatal shot.
The back of JFK's head explodes.
Jackie screams, "My God, what are they doing? My God, they've killed Jack. They've killed my husband, Jack.
And this is captured on the Zapruder film.
She climbs onto the back of the car.
People debate why. Some say she's trying to escape. Some say she's in shock.
But the most credible account is that she's trying to retrieve a piece of his skull.
A piece of his brain from the trunk of the car.
Because she doesn't understand that he's dead. She thinks if she can put the pieces back,
she can fix this.
Secret Service agent Clint Hill jumps onto the car, pushes her back into her seat.
She cradles JFK's head in her lap, trying to hold the pieces together.
They race to Parkland Hospital.
She won't let go of him.
They arrive at the hospital. She's covered in blood, brain matter on her suit.
And she still won't leave him. They have to pry her away from the body.
She waits outside Trauma Room 1. Smoking, shaking.
At 1 p.m, they pronounce him dead.
And that's when she goes in, and that's when the wedding ring moment happens.
The moment we opened with...
She takes off her ring, puts it on his finger, says, "You can close the coffin now."
And then she has to make decisions, immediate decisions.
Because Lyndon Johnson is being sworn in on Air Force One at 2:38 p.m.
And Jackie stands next to him, still in her blood-soaked suit.
Lady Bird Johnson suggests she change, clean up.
And Jackie says, and this is documented, no, let them see what they've done.
That's her thinking in the moment. Let them see.
The blood is evidence. The blood is testimony.
The blood makes it real.
So she stands there next to LBJ, blood-soaked, hair matted, in shock.
And the photo goes around the world.
That's the image. That's the moment.
The widow, the blood, the violence made visible.
They fly back to Washington. She sits next to JFK's coffin the entire flight.
Still won't change her clothes.
They arrive at Andrews Air Force Base. Bobby Kennedy comes on the plane.
Bobby, who will become her closest confidant after this, her protector.
And she finally changes after 17 hours in blood-soaked clothes.
And then she starts planning the funeral.
Immediately. That same night.
Because the funeral is going to be her statement, her last gift to him.
She models it on Abraham Lincoln's funeral. Black case on. Riderless horse. Military precision.
She insists on walking behind the coffin, 8 blocks from the White House to St. Matthew's Cathedral.
Secret Service says it's too dangerous, too exposed.
She says, "I'm walking."
And she does. On November 25th, 1963.
With Bobby on one side, Ted Kennedy on the other.
And heads of state from 92 countries following her.
De Gaulle is there. The Queen sends Prince Philip. The whole world is watching.
And she's the image of dignity. Black veil. Perfect posture.
Not crying. Not breaking.
Maintaining composure. Even now. Especially now.
And then outside the cathedral, John Jr.'s 3rd birthday.
It's his 3rd birthday. The day of the funeral.
And when the coffin passes, Jackie whispers to him.
And he salutes.
A 3-year-old boy saluting his father's coffin.
And that image, that moment breaks the entire world.
It's the most heartbreaking photograph of the 20th century.
A little boy who will barely remember his father.
Saluting. Because his mother told him to.
Because that's what you do. You perform dignity. Even at 3 years old.
Even when your world just ended.
So here's where Jackie does something extraordinary.
A week after the assassination, she gives an interview to Theodore White from Life magazine.
This is December 1963. She's still in shock, still processing.
And she creates the Camelot myth.
She tells White that Jack loved the musical Camelot, that he'd play the record at night.
Don't let it be forgot that once there was a spot for one brief shining moment that was known as Camelot.
And she says, there'll be great presidents again, but there will never be another Camelot.
And that framing, that narrative becomes the Kennedy legacy.
The idealism, the youth, the brief shining moment.
It's brilliant, and it's calculated.
Because she's shaping history, controlling the story.
Protecting Jack's legacy and her children's legacy.
But also, and historians debate this, she's maybe airbrushing some difficult truths.
The affairs, the recklessness, the complicated reality of who JFK actually was.
She's creating a myth. And myths are powerful.
But they're also incomplete.
And Jackie will spend the rest of her life managing that myth, being its guardian.
Which is another performance, another role.
After the assassination, Jackie's life becomes impossible.
She's 34 years old, widow, 2 small children. most famous woman in America.
And she has no privacy. Zero.
Photographers outside her house. Reporters following her everywhere.
She's living in Georgetown. She can't go anywhere without a crowd.
And she's drowning. In grief. In trauma. In attention.
She's having nightmares. Can't sleep. Can barely function.
But she has to. Because she has Caroline and John Jr.
Caroline's 6. John Jr.'s 3.
And they're also famous. Also mourning. Also being photographed constantly.
And Jackie makes a decision. A huge decision.
She has to get them out of Washington.
So in September 1964, she moves to New York.
Upper East Side, an apartment at 1048 Fifth Avenue.
Still no privacy. The photographers are relentless.
But at least it's not Washington. Not the constant reminder of what she lost.
And she focuses on the children. That becomes her mission.
Giving them as normal a childhood as possible under completely abnormal circumstances.
Which is maybe the hardest thing she'll ever do.
Let's talk about what it means to be Caroline and John Jr. in 1964, 1965.
Your father was the president. He was murdered on television.
You're the most famous children in America, maybe in the world.
Everywhere you go, people stare, point, take pictures.
Photographers camped outside your school, your home.
And you're 6 and 3. You don't understand any of this.
But your mother has to explain it, has to help you make sense of it.
While she's barely making sense of it herself.
And Jackie does something that's both protective and controversial.
She's incredibly strict about the children's privacy.
She fights with photographers, with magazines, with anyone who tries to exploit her children.
There's a famous incident with photographer Ron Galella.
Not yet, that's later, in the 70s. But the instinct starts now.
The fierce protection, the you will not touch my children energy.
She sends them to private schools. Sacred Heart for Caroline.
She tries to keep their lives structured. Normal routines.
Homework, piano lessons, birthday parties.
But it's not normal. It can't be normal.
Because Secret Service follows them everywhere until Caroline turns 16 and John Jr. turns 16.
That's the rule. Children of former presidents get protection.
So they grow up with agents, always watching, always there.
And with the knowledge that their father was killed. That violence is real.
And with strangers asking questions all the time.
Do you remember him? What was he like? Are you sad?
At 6, at 8, at 10.
And Jackie has to teach them how to handle that.
With dignity, with grace, with privacy.
You don't owe anyone an answer. You can be polite, but you don't have to explain yourself.
That's the lesson. The same lesson she learned at 11.
Your private pain is yours. Don't give it away.
And then Jackie makes another decision that changes everything.
October 20th, 1968.
She marries Aristotle Onassis.
Greek shipping magnate. One of the richest men in the world.
23 years older than her.
Short. Not conventionally attractive. Complicated reputation.
And the American public loses its mind.
They feel betrayed. How could she? How could she marry him?
She's defiling JFK's memory. She's doing it for money.
The headlines are brutal. Jackie marries blank check.
America has lost a saint.
Her approval rating, and yes, they polled this drops from 80% to 30% overnight.
People are furious, genuinely angry at her.
And I think Jackie's surprised by the intensity of it.
But also, she doesn't care.
Or she decides she can't afford to care.
Because here's what she's getting from this marriage.
Security. Financial security. Physical security.
Onassis has islands, yachts, private planes.
Places where she can take her children and be away from cameras.
Away from America. Away from the constant grief tourism.
And she's practical about it. She negotiates a prenup.
$3 million up front. Financial protection for the children.
And I think what she's actually buying is space.
Room to breathe. Room for her children to be children.
Even if it costs her American approval.
Even if it costs her the widow's pedestal.
She's choosing her children's safety over public opinion.
And that's a hell of a choice.
So, what's the Onassis marriage actually like?
Complicated. Very complicated.
They spend a lot of time apart. She's in New York. He's in Europe.
He's still involved with Maria Callas, the opera singer.
He's been with Callas on and off for years. Before Jackie, during Jackie.
And Jackie knows this. She's entering another marriage where fidelity isn't expected.
But this time, it's more transactional, more clear-eyed.
She's not 24 anymore. She's 39.
And she's doing this for specific reasons. Resources, protection, space.
Does she love him? That's debated.
She's fond of him. She appreciates what he provides.
But it's not the passionate thing she had with Jack or thought she had.
It's more practical. A partnership with clear terms.
And for a while, it works.
The children spend summers on Scorpios, on Onassis' private island.
Swimming, sailing, away from photographers.
John Jr. learns to windsurf. Caroline reads on the beach.
They have moments of actual privacy.
Actual childhood.
Which is what Jackie wanted.
But Onassis is also difficult, controlling in some ways. He wants Jackie at social events, on the yacht, performing as Mrs. Onassis.
And she resists that. She's done being decorative.
She wants to be in New York with her children, living her life.
And he resents that she's not more present.
The marriage starts to fray. By the early 70s, they're barely together.
And then in 1973, Onassis' son Alexander dies. Plane crash.
Onassis is devastated, completely broken.
And he blames Jackie irrationally, says she brought a curse on his family.
The marriage is essentially over. They're separated in everything but name.
And then March 15th, 1975.
Aristotle Onassis, Paris, pneumonia.
Jackie's 45, widow again.
And once again, there's controversy about money.
Onassis' daughter Christina contests the will, fights Jackie on the inheritance.
They settle. Jackie gets $26 million.
And her reaction, according to friends, is basically, fine, I'm done.
Done with marriage. Done with depending on men.
Done with that particular kind of transaction.
And at 45, she's going to reinvent herself again.
But before we get to that, let's talk about the most important work of Jackie's life during this period.
Raising her children.
Specifically, keeping them sane in an insane situation.
And grounded in reality when everyone's treating them like myths.
She's relentless about this, about normalcy.
They have chores. They have curfews. They have rules.
Caroline has to make her bed. John Jr. has to do his homework.
No special treatment. No, you're a Kennedy, so you don't have to.
And she's strict about media exposure.
They're not doing interviews, not doing photo shoots.
And when photographers cross the line...
She goes to war.
Ron Galella. We have to talk about Ron Galella.
Photographer. Paparazzo. Obsessed with Jackie and the children.
From the late 60s through the mid 70s, he's everywhere.
Jumping out of bushes. Following them to school. To restaurants.
Getting inches from their faces. Chasing them down streets.
And Jackie says, enough.
She sues him. 1972.
And the case becomes about privacy. About what photographers can and can't do.
About whether being famous means you have no right to personal space.
The court rules in Jackie's favour.
Restraining order. Galella has to stay 50 yards away from Jackie, 75 yards from the children.
And this matters. This is precedent setting.
This is Jackie using the law to protect her family.
Not just accepting the harassment, fighting back.
And winning.
And sending a message, you can photograph me, but you cannot touch my children.
That line is absolute.
So Caroline and John Jr. grow up under this protection.
This fierce, sometimes overwhelming maternal protection.
And they turn out remarkably well adjusted.
Considering
everything, the assassination, the fame, the scrutiny, the mythology.
Caroline goes to Radcliffe, then Columbia Law School.
Becomes a lawyer, an author, eventually US ambassador to Japan.
Living a life of substance and purpose.
Not just being JFK's daughter, actually accomplishing things.
And John Jr. goes to Brown, Then NYU law.
Passes the bar on his third try, which the media has a field day with.
But he gets there, and then he founds George magazine in the 90s.
A political magazine, his own thing.
Not just trading on the Kennedy name, though, that's part of it, but creating something.
And both of them, Caroline and John, credit Jackie.
For keeping them grounded, for making them work, for protecting their privacy.
For teaching them they're not special just because of their name.
They have to earn it, have to be something on their own merit.
And that's Jackie's legacy as a mother.
Not perfect, no parent is perfect.
But fiercely devoted to giving them the tools to survive this.
The fame, the mythology, the weight of history.
And they do survive it. They thrive even...
Until John Jr.'s death in 1999.
Plane crash. Off Martha's vineyard.
But Jackie's gone by then, died in 1994.
Spared that particular grief.
The loss of the child she fought so hard to protect.
And maybe that's a mercy. 1975. Jackie's 45 years old. Widowed twice over.
Rich, famous, free.
And here's where the story gets really interesting.
Because she does something nobody expects.
She gets a job.
A real job, 9 to 5.
At a publishing house.
First at Viking Press, then at Doubleday.
And people are shocked. Why would Jackie Kennedy Onassis need to work?
Doesn't she have enough money? Isn't this beneath her?
And Jackie's response, according to friends, is basically, I want to...
That's it. I want to work. I want to be useful.
And in 1975, that's still somewhat revolutionary for someone in her position.
High society women don't work. They do charity. They sit on boards.
But they don't have careers.
And Jackie says, I'm having a career.
She starts as a consulting editor at Viking in 1975.
They pay her $10,000 a year, which is nothing for her.
She doesn't need the money. She's there because she wants to be.
And she takes it seriously. She's in the office. She's editing manuscripts.
She's not decorative. She's actually working.
But there's controversy.
In 1977, Viking publishes a novel called Shall We Tell the President?
It's a thriller about an assassination attempt on Ted Kennedy.
And Jackie is furious. She thinks it's tasteless, exploitative.
She quit Viking over it.
And immediately gets hired at Doubleday.
Where she'll work for the rest of her life until 1994.
17 years as an editor.
And she's good at it. Genuinely talented.
Let's talk about what Jackie actually does as an editor.
Because this is where we see who she really is.
Not the First Lady, not the widow, not the icon.
The person underneath all that.
She acquires books. She edits them. She works with authors.
And her taste is specific and revealing.
She's drawn to books about art, architecture, photography.
Coffee table books, beautiful objects.
But also memoirs, biographies, books about historical figures.
She works on books about ballet, about Russia, about Egypt.
And here's what's interesting. She's drawn to books about people navigating impossible circumstances.
About power and its costs.
About public lives and private selves.
About dignity under pressure.
It's like she's processing her own life through the book she chooses.
And her authors love working with her.
She's smart, she's thorough, she's genuinely engaged with the work.
Dorothy West, the Harlem Renaissance writer, works with Jackie on The Wedding.
And West says Jackie's a dream editor, respectful, careful, thoughtful.
Not trying to impose her vision, trying to serve the author's vision.
And that's revealing too.
Because Jackie's been performed at, been shaped, been managed.
So as an editor, she does the opposite.
She listens, she supports, she helps people tell their own stories.
And she finds meaning in it.
Real purpose.
At an age when she could just be going to parties and spending money.
She's taking the subway to Doubleday's offices.
She's in editorial meetings.
She's line editing manuscripts.
And according to people who work with her, she's happy.
Maybe happier than she's ever been.
Because for the first time, she's not performing.
She's just working.
Buying useful. Buying herself.
And then there's Maurice Templesman,
Maurice.
Belgian-born diamond merchant. Quiet, intellectual, kind.
Jackie meets him in the late 70s. They become friends first.
He's married but separated. Orthodox Jewish. Not glamorous.
Not a politician. Not a playboy. Not powerful in the traditional sense.
Just solid. Reliable. Intellectually curious.
And Jackie falls for him quietly, deeply.
They start dating in the early 80s. Companion is maybe the better word.
He moves into her apartment. They become a couple.
And for the rest of her life, 13, 14 years, Maurice is her partner.
And here's what's beautiful about it.
He doesn't need her to be Jackie Kennedy.
He loves her as a person, not as an icon.
They read together. They talk about books, politics, art.
They travel quietly. No publicity. No drama.
He supports her work, her interests, her privacy.
And she doesn't have to perform for him.
She can just be.
And according to people who knew them, it's the happiest relationship of her life.
More than Jack. More than Eri.
Because it's built on genuine affection and respect.
Not power, not image, not transaction.
Just two people who enjoy each other's company.
Reading Greek poetry together.
Taking walks in Central Park.
Going to the opera.
Quiet dinners at home.
And for Jackie, who's been public property since she was 31,
this privacy, this gentleness is everything.
Maurice gives her peace.
And she treasures it.
But even in her 50s and 60s, Jackie's still being photographed.
Still being watched. Still famous.
And now there's a new dynamic. She's aging.
Aging in public. In the most visible way possible.
And this is where we see something really important about who she is.
Because Jackie doesn't fight age.
She doesn't get excessive plastic surgery. Doesn't try to look 35 forever.
She lets herself age gracefully, naturally.
Grey hair, glasses, lines on her face.
And in the 80s and 90s, this is unusual for someone that famous.
The expectation is that you fight it, you hide it.
But Jackie just ages.
And she's still elegant, still stylish.
But she's not trying to be the woman she was at 33.
And I think that's a choice.
A deliberate choice about authenticity.
I'm not that person anymore. I don't want to be that person.
I'm this person now. And this is enough.
And there's something powerful about that.
About a woman who's been objectified her entire adult life.
Saying, I'm aging, I'm changing, and you don't get a vote.
It's radical in its own way.
Quiet, radicalism.
Which is very Jackie.
And she's a grandmother. Caroline has 3 children in the 80s and 90s.
Rose, Tatiana, Jack.
And Jackie loves this role.
She's apparently a wonderful grandmother. Playful, engaged.
She reads to them, takes them to museums.
And she can do this privately because they're not as famous as Caroline and John Jr. were.
She has some normalcy with them.
Some of the childhood experiences she couldn't give her own kids.
And according to Caroline, this makes Jackie happy.
Watching her grandchildren just be children.
Without trauma, without cameras.
Just playing in Central Park. Going to school.
Normal.
And that's what she always wanted. Normalcy.
For her children. For her grandchildren. For herself.
And in these small moments, she gets it.
But there are other projects too. Other passions.
She gets very involved in historic preservation.
Grand Central Terminal in New York is going to be demolished in the 70s.
And Jackie leads the fight to save it.
She testifies. She rallies support. She uses her fame strategically.
And they win. Grand Central is saved.
It's landmarked, preserved.
And Jackie's thrilled. Because this is her aesthetic. Her values.
Preserving beautiful things. Protecting history.
The same instinct that led her to restore the White House.
But this time, it's for everyone. Not just for presidential history.
For the city. For the culture.
And she works on other preservation projects too.
Mostly quietly. Not seeking credit.
But making a difference.
Using her influence for something she believes in.
And finding meaning in it.
And then we get to the 90s.
Jackie's in her 60s. Still working at Doubleday.
Still with Maurice. Still living on Fifth Avenue.
And in December 1993, she has some health issues.
Swollen lymph nodes. Not feeling well.
She goes to a doctor. They run tests.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Cancer.
Advanced, aggressive.
And she's 64 years old.
She starts treatment. Chemotherapy.
It's brutal. She's losing weight, losing her hair.
And for the first time in decades, she stops going to the office.
Because she can't. She's too weak.
But she tries to keep it private as she can.
No public statements, no press releases.
Just quiet management of her illness with her family and Maurice.
And she keeps working from home, editing manuscripts.
Staying engaged with the books.
Until she can't anymore.
In May 1994, it's clear the treatment isn't working.
The cancer's spreading, she's getting weaker.
And on May 19th, 1994,
Jackie dies at home in her apartment.
Surrounded by Caroline and John Jr. and Maurice.
She's 64 years old.
And the world stops.
I mean that, almost literally. The news breaks and it dominates everything.
World leaders issue statements. The UN lowers its flag.
President Clinton gives a eulogy.
And the response is overwhelming.
Thousands of people line up outside her building, leaving flowers.
Because for so many people, Jackie represents something.
Grace, dignity, survival.
The woman who endured the worst and kept going.
Who aged in public and did it with elegance.
Who raised her children and protected them.
Who found meaningful work and purpose.
Who loved and lost and loved again.
And who never, ever broke.
At least not publicly.
Not where we could see it.
She's buried at Arlington, next to JFK and their 2 infant children.
Patrick, who died in 1963, and Arabella, the stillborn daughter from 1956.
So the family's together, in death, if not in life.
And the eternal flame still burns.
The flame she lit on November 25th, 1963.
At JFK's grave.
That's still there, still burning.
And Jackie's there too now.
Finally at rest.
After a life of performance and scrutiny and loss.
Rest.
All right. Let's talk about what it all means.
The whole arc. From 31 to 64.
What does it cost to be Jackie Kennedy?
Everything and nothing.
Explain.
She gains fame, influence, wealth, platform.
She loses privacy, authenticity, the ability to be ordinary.
She has to perform dignity every single day.
Even when she's bleeding. Even when she's grieving.
And that's exhausting. Spiritually exhausting.
But it also gives her power.
The power to shape her husband's legacy.
The power to protect her children.
The power to save Grand Central Terminal.
The power to have a career on her own terms.
So it's a trade-off.
An impossible trade-off that she didn't fully choose.
She married into it. She became it.
And then she couldn't unmake it.
Once you're Jackie Kennedy, you're always Jackie Kennedy.
There's no going back to being just Jacqueline Bouvier.
That person's gone.
Or locked away somewhere inside.
Swimming at night in the Mediterranean.
Let's talk about the marriage. The first marriage to JFK.
Because I think that's the foundation of everything else.
She's 24 when she marries him, 34 when he dies.
10 years? And what are 10 years?
Senator's wife, presidential candidate's wife, first lady, widow.
And through all of it, he's cheating on her.
Constantly, publicly, humiliatingly.
And she knows. And she stays.
Why?
Because the partnership matters more than the pain.
Because leaving would mean admitting failure.
Because she loves him despite everything.
Because she's invested in what they're building together.
Because she's pragmatic about what marriage is at that level of politics and power.
All of the above.
All of the above.
And I think it's important not to judge her for that choice.
Because it was her choice, made with open eyes.
She wasn't naive. She wasn't trapped.
She was calculating, weighing costs and benefits.
And deciding the costs were worth it.
For a while.
And then she doesn't have to make that choice anymore.
The choice is made for her.
By violence. By history.
And she becomes the widow.
Which is a different role. A different performance.
And maybe even harder.
The second marriage to Onassis.
This one's more controversial.
Americans felt betrayed. How could she?
But I think it's her most honest choice.
Because it's not romantic. It's not about love or image.
It's practical, transactional.
I need security. You need a beautiful wife. Let's make a deal.
And they do.
And it works for a while.
Until it doesn't.
But it buys her time, space, resources to protect her children.
And at 39, 40 years old, that's what she needs.
Not romance. Not another Kennedy drama.
Just safety.
And I think that's wise.
Wise and a little sad.
Because she's given up on being loved the way she wants to be loved.
For the sake of survival.
And that's a loss.
But it's also strength.
Knowing what you need and going after it.
Even if people judge you for it.
Even if it costs you American approval.
She's choosing her children over her image.
And that's the right choice.
Even if it's not the romantic choice.
And then Maurice.
Finally. A healthy relationship.
At 50. After 2 marriages. After so much loss.
She finds someone who just loves her.
Not for her image. Not for her connections.
Just for who she is.
And they read Greek poetry together.
And that's enough.
More than enough.
And I think that's her real happy ending.
Not marriage. Not remarriage.
Companionship, partnership, gentleness.
For 13 years.
Until she dies.
And Maurice is with her at the end.
That's love.
Real love. Finally.
Let's talk about motherhood.
Because that's the through line. The constant.
From 1957 when Caroline's born to 1994 when Jackie dies.
37 years of being a mother.
And doing it under impossible circumstances.
The assassination. The publicity. The mythology.
And somehow, some way, keeping her children sane.
Grounded. Functional.
Caroline becomes a serious person. Accomplished. Purposeful.
John Jr. the same. Before his death.
And that's Jackie's doing.
The fierce protection. The boundaries. The insistence on normalcy.
Even when nothing was normal.
Even when the world wanted to consume them.
She said no.
She fought photographers. She sued paparazzi.
She kept them out of the spotlight as much as she could.
And she taught them, you are not special because of your name.
You have to earn your life.
And they did.
And that's her legacy.
More than the White House restoration.
More than the pink suit.
More than Camelot.
She raised good humans.
Under impossible pressure.
And that's extraordinary.
Let's talk about the work. The editing career.
Because I think this is where we see the real Jackie.
The person she would have been if she hadn't married Jack.
Or if she'd been born 20 years later.
She would have been a career woman.
A curator. An editor. A tastemaker.
Someone who worked with art and books and culture.
And at 45, she gets to be that person.
For 17 years.
And she loves it.
Because it's not performance. It's just work.
Meaningful work. Work that matters.
Helping writers, publishing books.
Making beautiful things.
And nobody's photographing her at her desk.
Nobody's analysing her editing notes.
She can just do the work.
Be useful. Be herself.
And that's freedom.
The only real freedom she ever has.
From 45 to 64.
19 years of being a person, not an icon.
Well, still an icon, but also a person.
With a job. With colleagues. With purposes beyond her image.
And I think she's happiest then.
As happy as she can be with all the history she's carrying.
All the loss. All the performance.
But yes, happier.
And that matters.
All right, aging. Let's talk about aging in public.
Because this is huge.
Jackie's 31 when she becomes First Lady.
34 when JFK dies.
And then she lives another 30 years.
From 34 to 64. Aging in the most public way possible.
And every stage is photographed, analysed, compared to before.
She's lost weight. She's gained weight. She looks tired. She looks old.
And she can't escape it.
Because she's permanently famous.
But here's what she does, and this is important.
She ages naturally.
No excessive surgery, No desperate attempts to look 30 forever.
She just ages.
Grey hair, glass, lines.
And she's still elegant, still stylish.
But she's not trying to be the woman in the pink suit.
She's trying to be herself at 50, at 60.
And that's radical.
Because the culture says, don't age, fight it, hide it.
Especially for women, especially for famous women.
But Jackie says, no, I'm aging. Watch me do it.
I'm still here, I'm still elegant, and I'm 63.
And there's power in that.
Quiet power.
The power of refusing to disappear.
Refusing to become invisible when you're no longer young.
And maybe that's another kind of dignity.
Different from the dignity of the widow at 34.
The dignity of the woman at 63 who's still here, still working, still living.
Still herself.
Privacy. Let's talk about privacy.
Because that's the battle of her entire adult life.
From 31 onward, she has no privacy.
Cameras everywhere, all the time.
At the grocery store, at the park, on the street.
Photographers in the bushes, reporters at the door.
And she fights it constantly.
She sues. She gets restraining orders. She argues with editors.
She protects her children fiercely.
You can photograph me, but leave my children alone.
That's the line.
And she mostly holds it.
With the law. With force of will. With sheer stubbornness.
But she can't win. Not completely.
Because she's too famous. Too mythological.
People feel they own her.
She's ours. She belongs to history.
And in some ways, that's true.
She made herself public. She performed the role.
She shaped the myth.
So now she has to live with it.
Forever.
Even when she wants to be private.
Even when she wants to be left alone.
She can't be.
And that's the cost.
The real cost.
Your life becomes public property.
And you can't get it back. But there are private moments. Small moments.
Swimming at night.
Tell me about that.
According to people who knew her, Jackie loved to swim in the ocean. At night.
When she was in Greece, in the Mediterranean.
She'd go out after dark, alone, just swim.
And nobody knew. Nobody watched.
It was hers.
Her private joy.
The water, the darkness, the solitude.
And I love that image.
The most famous woman in the world.
Swimming alone in the dark.
Where nobody can see her.
Where she can just be a person in the water.
Not performing, not posing, just being.
And those moments, however brief.
Those were hers.
Nobody could take them.
Nobody even knew about them.
Until years later, when friends mentioned it.
But in the moment, they were secret.
Sacred.
And maybe that's how you survive.
You find small moments of privacy.
Small joys that are only yours.
And you protect them.
And you live for them.
Those brief moments of freedom.
In the dark, in the water.
Alone.
Let's talk about the books. The book she was reading at the end.
Because this is revealing.
In her final years, people noticed the books on her nightstand, the books she was editing.
A lot of them were about death, about memory, about loss.
She edited a book about the Day of the Dead, Mexican traditions.
She read poetry about grief and transformation.
And I think she was processing
everything she lived through.
The deaths. Patrick, JFK, Bobby, Aristotle.
All the loss.
And maybe trying to make peace with her own mortality.
To understand what it all meant.
Through books, through art, through culture.
Which is very her.
Always processing through beauty.
Through the aesthetic.
Finding meaning in art when life is too brutal.
And in those final years, I think she found some peace.
With Maurice, with her work, with her grandchildren.
The eternal flame. Let's talk about that.
November 25th, 1963. JFK's funeral.
Jackie takes a taper from an army sergeant.
And she lights the eternal flame at the grave.
And it's been burning ever since. 60 plus years now.
As of recording, more than 60 years.
And millions of people have visited it.
It's become a pilgrimage site, a place of memory.
And that was Jackie's idea.
She insisted on it against some resistance.
People said it was too grandiose, too European.
But she said there should be a flame.
And there is.
And it's one of the most powerful memorials in America.
That image, the flame burning in the darkness.
It's become symbolic.
of loss, of memory, of endurance.
And it's Jackie's creation.
One of her lasting contributions.
She shaped how we remember JFK.
Not just through the Camelot myth,
but through this physical, enduring symbol.
A flame that never goes out.
Like the grief. All right, final question. Who is Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis?
That's the question everyone wants answered.
And I don't think we can answer it. Not fully.
Because she didn't want to be fully known.
That was her boundary, her protected space.
But we know this.
She was intelligent, deeply so. She was controlled, almost never spontaneous in public, because spontaneity meant vulnerability.
She was wounded by loss, by trauma, by violation, grief, and palpable violence.
The letter she wrote to Jack, early in their marriage, he wrote, I want to be with you, I belong with you, but I need you to know I am my own person. I have my own thoughts, my own dreams.
And later, Jackie would remind the whole world that she was her own person.
Yes, through all those pressures, Jackie asserted herself and grew immensely as a person. She wasn't willing to be the person who she had been in her first marriage to Jack.
And she had, even in those early years with Jack, been a remarkably cultured and refined person.
Rest in peace, Jackie.
May your eternal flame burn on.
And may your private joys remain yours.
Forever.